It's 7:15. 3 years ago, Sam Hallam was sentenced to life imprisonment for a crime that many people believe he did not commit. In the programme Tonight with Trevor McDonald, the actor Ray Winstone reconstructs the events surrounding the case. We're talking to Sam's mother and lawyer in a moment, but first GMTV spoke to Ray Winstone about his involvement in the case. Here's Miranda Shunker.
Sam Hallam was jailed for life for a crime he says he didn't commit. Now his best friend's uncle, the actor Ray Winstone, has joined the campaign to free him.
There's a boy doing 3 years who's been sentenced to life imprisonment, and there's no evidence. You know, I thought we were innocent till proven guilty.
Sam was one of two convicted of murdering Essayas Kasayan in October 2004. The 21-year-old attacked by 40 youths in East London, armed with knives and baseball bats.
This kid ain't a killer. But there's a killer out there walking about. And a lot of the community know who the guy is.
Two witnesses claimed they saw Sam at the scene. But as Ray discovered, many say he simply wasn't there.
Was Sam Hallam there?
No. Evidence his family hope will help him eventually win back his freedom.
Well, Sam's mother, Wendy, and Paul May from the campaign are here. Good morning to you both. Now, Wendy, Ray Winstone got involved because his son is, his nephew, sorry, is a friend of your son. Now, how much did it take to convince him that there had been a miscarriage of justice?
It's only when he lost his appeal, before he got sentenced, his first appeal. So then I lost all my legal aid. Then we went back to the court appeal, was it April? And then he lost that appeal, and then everything's just gone.
Right,
up.
and that's when Ray got involved. Because I know that he was quite sceptical at the beginning, wasn't he?
Well, he's not even sceptical. I don't think until Sam lost his appeal, I don't think no one was taking much notice of it. Everyone thought he was going to come home. Same as the court case. He went to court, and I really did believe that justice was going to see they've got it wrong. Because even when they was in court, you know, you could just see it. None of it made sense.
Now, when you say none of it made sense, I mean, for a start off, was Sam or was he part of this group? There was this big gang, wasn't there, of about 40 youths who went over to Whitechapel. He didn't know any of them.
He knew some of them,
but he wasn't in this gang when there was. So there was this confusion about whether or not he'd been seen on the night in question at this particular place, and that was the main thing. And as I understand it, his alibi was a problem. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, knowing all that, you still thought, well, you know, he definitely didn't do it.
It wasn't that. It was from dot one. Every parent in that who was on that trial kept saying to me he was not there. From dot one, from when they come and got Sam, I was coming saying he was not there.
You see, it's confusing, isn't it, Paul? You know, you're involved in this campaign to get him freed, and it is confusing because you think, well, you know, that he wasn't seen at the scene allegedly, although some people say that they did see him, but then it was all confusing because of the fact some of them didn't until they were prompted by somebody else, and then all this other sort of stuff. You sort of think about that, and you look at the lack of forensic evidence, and then you think, well, why was he convicted then?
Well, the murder of Essayas Kasayan was a terrible murder. In the absence of any witnesses to the contrary, the jury clearly believed the very highly inconsistent testimony of two prosecution witnesses. What this film does is brings forward new witnesses, and we have ourselves identified a total of 6 new witnesses who were present at the scene, who know Sam Hallam and say he wasn't there, and we say their testimony should be now heard in court.
And I know that you've successfully worked on a number of miscarriages of justice. Do you think that Sam has a good chance of being released?
We think he has an excellent chance. Following tonight's film, we will be making a submission to the Criminal Cases Review Commission, asking them to investigate the case. We're confident that the Commission will refer the case back to the Court of Appeal, and we're confident that Sam will be exonerated by the Court of Appeal and will be a free man.
Yes, I mean, obviously, you know, you have to feel sorry for the victim and the
So.
family of the victim. Obviously, there's this trainee chef who died trying to save his friend from this attack. Yes. But what's it been like for your family the last 3 years?
Oh, a living nightmare. A nightmare. You just think, well, no family should go through it. No family.
Wendy Cohen and Paul May, thank you both very much for joining us this morning.
Disturbing case. Time now is 10 to